as a family, we support certain institutions. એટલે we feel that rather than, doing little bit here and everywhere, you focus all your resources on the institution that you are anyway supporting. So we have sort of focusing all our CSR to primarily Jivraj Mehta Hospital, which my family has been supporting for over 25 years. So basically, that is what we do.
Yes.
We, starting 10 years ago, we have outsourced everything, and we don't compromise in quality. And I'll tell you how. The quality is built into the design of the product. એટલે અમે છે ને મોલ્ડ બનાવ્યા હોય, ટૂલ્સ બનાવ્યા, ડાઈઝ બનાવી હોય. હવે ડાઈ પ્લાસ્ટિકની બનાવેલી હોય, એટલે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ હવે આ પ્લાસ્ટિકની પ્રોડક્ટ છે, આ તમે ડાઈ આની બનાવેલી હોય, તો પ્રોડક્ટ ડાઈમાંથી આવી જ નીકળવાની છે. એમાં કોઈ મેન્યુઅલ કોઈ કામ નથી that it will not be done right. So first is the quality is built into the product itself. Secondly, it is our people who are managing quality at all the locations where the product is being manufactured. Besides, the people who manufacture for us are actually big companies. There are 3 of them are Korean companies which are suppliers to LG and Samsung. There are other companies which are basically automotive suppliers to Maruti. Rajasthan wala છે લોકો મારુતિને સપ્લાય કરે છે plastic components. We have one here, right here in Sanand, in the Tata vendor park. So he's a supplier to Nano, to the Tata, Tata Motors. So we've got people like that. So these are all established companies. All our norms are laid out. Our people are there. So quality is built into the product and built into the and controlled through the systems.
Good evening, Achal bhai. हमारा 2 questions છે. એક તો how do you differentiate, how do you feel about the management side and the ownership side? કે તમારી એક ownership છે અને એક management છે, તો how you differentiate that? અને second એક question છે કે have you thought of તમારા succession માટે કોઈને have you thought of that?
Actually, શું છે કે since I wear 2 hats, I actually forget that I wear the ownership hat, okay? Because that is immaterial. Actually, I've built this company from scratch, so I'm first and foremost a hands-on manager, and that's what I remain. So I don't see that there has ever been a conflict between the ownership hat and the management hat. And moreover, actually, in our company, we have about corporate governance and all that, we are very clear. So there is no, અમારે ત્યાં કોઈ દિવસ ₹1 2 નંબરમાં વેચ્યો નથી કે કોઈ સપ્લાયર પાસેથી અમે ઓવર ઇન્વોઇસિંગ કર્યું નથી. નથિંગ. જે કંઈ આપણે સરકારમાં આપવા પડે ને તે પણ અમે વાઉચરથી બનાવીને એમાં ડેબિટ કરીએ છીએ. એટલે સો વી હેવ 0 2 નંબરના generation, 0. So that is that. So there is no conflict between the management part and the ownership part. And the second question was, I forgot, succession plan. Like I just said, my father at 82 has not thought of succession. So for me at 55 to think of succession is
too early.
So is a little, premature.
Very inspiring, last question, bro. Very inspiring story, Achal bhai. I mean, we are neighbors, and fantastic. Never knew that I had such an amazing neighbor. So yeah, coming back to a question, looks like your whole business model is through dealers. Dealers are selling probably 90% of your products or 80% of your 100% of your products. So it's probably the backbone of your whole business. So how do you retain these dealers? Because a lot of competition, big names which you just mentioned like Bajaj, Crompton, Videocon, a lot of people came in, and I'm sure they must have gone to your dealers saying that we'll give you more commission, or we'll give you better products, or we'll give you more incentives. And few of them must have even parted ways with you. Some must have said, no, Symphony, I'm happy with them. They're a fantastic air coolers and whatnot. So how do you retain these dealers is my question.
Sure. See, we have two layers in our distribution. One is the distributors. So we have all over the country about 1,000 distributors who buy from us. They in turn sell to about 20,000 dealers or retailers across the country. Those 20,000 retailers or dealers are multi-brand retailers. So they will sell everybody's product. So they are not exclusive to Symphony. If you go to any showroom in the country, there'll be very few that are exclusively selling a Symphony or a Videocon or whatever. They will all sell multi-brand products. As far as the distributors are concerned, it's a carrot and stick approach. In the sense, we have to give them, enough margins. Our percentages are less. On a per cooler, they make less on us than they make in Bajaj or Kenstar or Videocon. But we give them the volume. So we say, tare percentage જોઈએ છે કે તારે absolute રૂપિયા જોઈએ છે at the end of the day. And we make sure that he gets more money because of the sheer volume that he generates through our business. And that's the carrot part. The stick part is we say, okay, if you go to anybody else, we'll pull the plug on you. We'll take our business elsewhere. So we are very ruthless. If somebody says કે હું દહીં ને દૂધ બેઉમાં પગ રાખીશ, તો we cut off his other foot. So we take our business elsewhere. So we appoint another distributor. So there is no question of a distributor with divided loyalties. And we've been like that from day one. અને તે વખતે એવું હતું પેલી monopolies and restrictive trade practices માં આ બધું ના ચાલે, MRTP આ છે તે છે. But we have not written it anywhere. It's a commercial practice. So we make sure that we enforce it.
So when you lose a distributor, then you also, being ruthless also is actually coming back to you. It's a vicious circle. So if you say that, okay, I'll, pull the plug on you, you're no longer my distributor, you lose a big chunk of business as well. So to develop a new distributor, that would also be a big investment and, all kind of legalities and whatnot.
Not really, because the dealers to whom that distributor sells is our asset. The distributor is only an intermediary. Amara field people will say કે તું માલ આટલો લે અને આને મોકલ અને આ ભાવે મોકલ. So he's only a conduit. So we say, if not you, we sell through somebody else. The dealer network is owned by Symphony. It's a Symphony dealer. He's been appointed by Symphony, by the Symphony staff. Distributor may have some dealers of his own, but then primarily those are Symphony appointed dealers. So it's not for us. Sometimes we have to tell our people કે થોડું હવે give him a little chance, એને સમજાવીને carry on. કોઈ કે આટલું મને ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ નથી આપતો હું તો એને ડ્રોપ કરીને બીજો મારી પાસે તૈયાર છે. Then we have to tell them કે ભાઈ 10 વર્ષથી કરે છે. Tell him કે કરશે આવતા વર્ષે he will raise his investment. Let's not just sever the relationship sometimes. But our field people are also very શું કહેવાય દાદાગીરીથી ધંધો કરે.
Sir, related to the quantification that you mentioned, 1,000 distributors over the country. So I believe, say for example, state of Gujarat, you might be having some X number of distributors, and city of Ahmedabad, you might be having Y number of distributors. So how do you divide the distributors? Means geographically, say for example, a city wise only one distributor, or there are more number of distributors in a particular city, and if that happens, so there might be a clash between two distributors regarding the rates and the other aspect. So how do you tackle them, and how you had divided it?
Again, very good question. We do have a geographical division. એટલે માનો અમદાવાદ હોય તો કોઈ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટર નદી પારનો હોય, કોઈ આ બાજુનો હોય. પછી એમાં પણ અમે શું કર્યું છે, અમારી પ્રોડક્ટ રેન્જ અમે ડિવાઈડ કરી દીધી છે. અમારે હવે સપોઝ 20-25 કુલરના મોડલ્સ હોય, અમે રેન્જ 4 રેન્જમાં ડિવાઈડ કરી દીધું છે. એટલે આ 4-5 મોડલ એક જણ વેચે, બીજા 4-5 મોડલ બીજો વેચે, એમ કરતાં કોન્ફ્લિક્ટ મિનિમાઇઝ કરીએ છીએ. દેટ ડઝ નોટ મીન કે કોન્ફ્લિક્ટ ના થાય. પણ એ છે ને ધ ફિલ્ડ પીપલ મેનેજ કે ભાઈ તને અહીંયા નહીં મોકલવાનો માલ આમ છે તેમ છે. દે કંટ્રોલ અવર ફિલ્ડ પીપલ, દે મેનેજ. પણ ઇટ ઇઝ સમથિંગ વિચ ઇઝ ઇનએવિટેબલ, લિટલ બિટ ઇઝ બાઉન્ડ ટુ હેપન. અને ઘણીવાર શું હોય કે સિઝન સારી ના ગઈ હોય અને પેલા પાસે કોઈકની પાસે એક્સેસ માલ છે તો એ વિચારે કે હું ક્યાં બીજા આખું વરસ કેરી કરીશ, એટલે ગમે ત્યાં માલ ફેંકવા માંડે. એને એવું બધું થતું હોય છે. પણ દેટ્સ પાર્ટ ઓફ ધ ગેમ, યુ હેવ ટુ લીવ વિથ ઇટ. એબ્સોલ્યુટલી. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ છે ને, જો મારે કોઈ કસ્ટમરને મળવાનું થતું નથી હોતું, નેવર આઈ ડોન્ટ હેવ ટુ મીટ એની સપ્લાયર ફોર એનીથિંગ. I would meet them કોઈ વાર આવ્યા હોય ઓફિસે તો એઝ અ courtesy, as a goodwill, our team will say કે આવ્યા છે, why don't you meet them for a few minutes, then I will meet them. So basically what I'm trying to say is કે all the execution and everything is entirely by the team. So my role actually is, આપણે કહીએ ને CEOમાં ચીફ એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ ઓફિસર, એકચ્યુઅલી E stands for ચીફ એક્સપીડાઇટિંગ ઓફિસર. આપણે છે ને આપણો રોલ ઇઝ ટુ જસ્ટ પુશ પીપલ ટુ ડુ થિંગ્સ ફાસ્ટર. આ છે તે છે સો ધ રોલ ઇઝ રિયલી જસ્ટ મોર ઓફ ઇન્ટરનલ કોઓર્ડિનેશન, ઇન્ટરનલ મેકિંગ શ્યોર થિંગ્સ મૂવ ફાસ્ટર. Well, we began about 10 years ago this process, and what we do is we have a team of people here and who travel in different countries with different geographies and appoint a big distributor locally. So it's somewhat like our Indian approach. In some markets, we also have local offices. So we have our people in our office in Moscow who will sell coolers in Moscow. But we have, because, and I'll come to that later, but Moscow, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Bangladesh, and of course are in USA and Mexico. So these are people where we have our own people and they cover neighboring geographies. So this is one way of doing it. Secondly, when we acquired this company, US-based company with this plant in Mexico, that gave us instant access to the North American market. So that was one thing, inorganic growth. And those are opportunities that we are constantly exploring. And we do get a lot of offers, કોઈ કંપની કસે વેચવાની છે, આ છે તે છે, પણ most of the times they are not pure cooler companies. કંઈક ભલતું સલતું કરતા હોય તો we sort of said, we say thank you very much, we are not interested. પણ જો કુલરની opportunity આવે, then we really sort of take it very seriously.
This BBA, MBA, entrepreneurial guys, Puneet, Raj, Drumil has a question. Just wait a minute, Drumil.
Ask you a question that how you motivate your workers in the times of off-season or your distributor?
What we have done is, please sit down. What we have done is, see, the end customer only buys in the summer. So during the off-season, there is no retail movement happening, but we cannot produce only in the summer for the summer. We have to produce around the year. Now, because of the volume, you cannot produce the entire season requirement in just a few short months. So at the same time, if you're producing around the year, you cannot stock it around the year. So what we have done is we give in the off season, we give hefty off season discounts to our distributors and dealers. So they pick up the material in the off season. In fact, what's happened is last year, about 50% of our entire year's collection came in the off-season. So that is all secure sales, money in the bank.
Yeah, wait a minute.
તમને કહું પહેલું એમ તો છે ને અહીંયા જેટલા બેઠા છે ને બધાને ઇન્ટ્યુટિવલી જ આવડે. આખા જીતોના બધા મેમ્બરોની ઇન્ટ્યુટિવલી જ આવડે, કોઈને કંઈ પૂછવાની જ જરૂર
બાય બર્થ.
બાય બર્થ. પહેલું એમ તમે જે સિચ્યુએશનમાં હો ને ત્યારે કઈ રીતે એ સિચ્યુએશનને મેનેજ કરવું, એ ઓલ ઓફ અસ આર ઓલ એક્સપર્ટ્સ ઇન અવર ઓન ફિલ્ડ. એટલે આઈ ડોન્ટ થિંક આઈ કેન રિયલી શેર એનીથિંગ. આઈ ડોન્ટ હેવ એનીથિંગ મોર ટુ એડ. જેટલા બધા બેઠા છે દે આર ઓલ ધુરંધર્સ ઇન ધેર